the Pod Network Entertainment.
What's going on? This is Xavier Woods, a.k.a. Austin Creed.
Welcome to the big time!
Hello, WWE Universe in the Philippines. This is Charlotte.
You know your damn role and shut your damn mouth.
Hey everyone, this is Jeff Cobb.
I have to finish the story.
We are pretty deadly. Yes, boy. Yes, boy.
Hello, my name is Ilya Dragunov, the Star.
Bang! The sniper is shooting you down. This is TMDK's Robbie Eagles, and you are listening to the Wrestling Podcast.
Alright, hello everyone. While Ro is fixing his stuff on his end, you're listening or watching to the longest running Filipino wrestling podcast. This is the Wrestling Podcast. So tonight, it's me, Emile, and Ro. Seems like he's still fixing things on his end, hoping it will be resolved soon. So how are y'all doing on a Thursday night? Yan, so... yes, ako yung nagpa-intro tonight. So, how are y'all doing? Hope you are doing well on this Thursday. Medyo maulan, so wherever you are, I hope you are dry and safe. Wala si Stan because he's working the FIBA World Cup right now, and Gino is away as well, and also si Rowan ASH. So we have a lots to talk about here today. We're going to talk about All In. We are also going to talk about what happened between all the CM Punk news that has been dominating the headlines this week. And we are going to predict two wrestling shows that's going to happen this weekend. Of course, we have Payback and AEW's All Out. So all of that is the agenda for tonight. So before we start with the wrestling talk, a little bit of housekeeping. And I'll do the Patreon spiel now. So if you want to, fully experience the Wrestling Podcast, all you need to do is subscribe to our Patreon at patreon.com/Wrestling Podcast for as low as $5. Of course, you'll get all the benefits of joining our Patreon program. Of course, we have the Discord community where you can interact with your fellow podcasts, and we also host some watch parties over there. This Sunday, or Monday pala, we're gonna have the watch party for AEW All Out. So if you want to join in on that watch party experience, you could do that by joining our Patreon. Also, we have our Pasabays, which we're doing something new with it, but if you join our Patreon, you'll get some friendly rates on the service fees na pinapatong namin doon, so you'll get that. Also, you'll get the review content of the weekly wrestling shows courtesy of Raw and ASH. And by subscribing to our Patreon, you're supporting everything that we do here on the podcast. So again, please subscribe to our Patreon at patreon.com/Wrestling Podcast for, again, as low as $5. Alright, so another event that will happen here on Sunday, Manila time, September 3, we're gonna have the Payback watch party courtesy of our friends from Geek Talk and the Wrestling Podcast. So the tickets, I'm not quite sure how much is it yet, pero we're gonna have fun. So that's gonna be at Hobby Stadium. So if you want to join in all the fun, so this is gonna be an actual watch party where people are gonna be gathering sa Hobby Stadium. I'm gonna be there. Roman's also gonna be there. Ro is gonna be there. So and also the rest of the gang. Not Stan because he's gonna be calling Payback with the Tagalog commentary. So if you want to join us in watching Payback on a chill Sunday morning, you could join us at Hobby Stadium for that. And also we have the quiz night. The quiz night on September 23, wala pang name yon. So it's been a while since we had a quiz night, so we're bringing it back just for our podcast. So that's going to be at September 23, also at Hobby Stadium. So our friends of Hobby Stadium. The details about that's gonna come soon. So, but again, please support those two events, and hoping to see you there on Sunday and on the 23rd. Okay. So it looks like Ro is still working things on his end, and let's jump right into the discussion. All In. So we're gonna discuss AEW All In. Of course, that happened just last Monday morning, very early in the Monday morning, and it set the attendance record for 81,000. 81,000 people showed up, paid their tickets, and went to see the show. They called it the biggest show in professional wrestling history, and it really was. It kind of felt like really the biggest show because Wembley Stadium really rocked the house that night or that morning for us here in the Philippines. So let's get our reactions from All In. So I'm gonna, since Ro is Jasper, you're gonna be joining us.
Yep.
All right. So did you see All In?
Yeah, I saw a few matches.
So what were your reactions coming from that show, and what were your favorite matches, favorite moments from All In?
Oh my god, my favorite moment is when we actually thought that ending in the MJF match, when we thought na this Adam Cole was just doing this for the belt, and literally MJF lashed off. Is it? Basta nagalit siya sa kanya like this is all what you want, and then he gives the belt. I tell you what, that's character development from MJF, if you ask me.
Okay, kasi because I also, if you listen to our Picks of the Week episode, we also expound on what happened. Like, there was definitely some character development kasi when they lost the tag team match at Collision, it was the reverse. It was Adam Cole consoling MJF, and then MJF parang, he was parang babalik siya to his heel ways and attacking Adam Cole with that belt. But because they have developed this bond, he can't quite do it. Now it's the reverse. It's Adam Cole who now can't do it because of the friendship that he developed with MJF.
It actually feels like Adam Cole is actually MJF's first friend in the whole career.
If you think about it, kasi even though MJF had allies before, I mean, we all know he had partnerships with Wardlow, with the Pinnacle. In a way, parang ginagamit lang ni MJF yung mga tao na to, or these people are using MJF na umangat dun sa card. But this friendship with Adam Cole legit feels like, if you're watching it, it really feels like a friendship. It really feels like both of them.
Given the vignettes rin, diba?
Yes, both of them really cares about one another. It was a great moment, and there were a lot of callbacks on the last wrestling event in Wembley, which was SummerSlam 92. There was the roll-up, which was a callback to the main event of that show, and that post-match celebration. It was when the confettis blew up.
Went out. Blew out.
Went out. That was also a callback to SummerSlam 92. Very clever there from TK. Also, I want to talk about as well the Stadium Stampede. Did you see the Stadium Stampede?
Dude, the only thing that I remember from that match is I don't think we're allowed to show it, pero it's the one that yung tinusok si John Moxley sa ulo niya ng chopsticks or
like barbecue sticks.
Jesus Christ, barbecue sticks. What the hell? This is literally murder in TV, and we're all having fun in it. But it was a really fun match rin. Pero admittedly, it was really hard for me to get or to catch kasi there's a lot of things happening during that match.
Kumbaga, it was too much for you.
Felt like a video game, yeah.
The Stadium Stampede, it was more fun than the Anarchy in the Arena, in my opinion. Kasi even though the action was more focused in the ring as compared to previous Stadium Stampede match, mas madaming weapons. It was much more violent. And we saw the reunion of Santana and Ortiz, which was kind of awkward kasi I was trying to read their expressions, and even when they're doing tag team moves, hindi sila nag-uusap. Which was really funny.
There's an elephant in the room.
Yes, the elephant in the room with these two. Yeah, and also
still they delivered pa rin, ano?
Yeah, they delivered. And Orange Cassidy, kudos to him. Sobrang dami nung dugo na bumuhos sa mukha niya. Like he was the MVP of that match. So kudos to Orange Cassidy.
He was literally freshly squeezed.
Exactly.
Time. Fucking bloods. Oh, sorry. Sweared.
Yes, that's fine. All right. We're just dalawa lang tayo dito sa show na to ngayon. So that's fine. All right. So all of those great things happened at All In, pero there was one event that dominated the headlines over the last 3 or 4 days, and it was again, no surprising, it's CM Punk.
Let's go! The best in the world. Yo, I saw this one post on Reddit na there was a guy holding a sign. Oh, there's a row. He was holding a sign, best in the world at being a bitch. I wish
all right, so to give you some background, what happened was the incident started when Jack Perry had this comment while the match was happening with Hook. Like he said on air after that bump they took on that limousine, he shouted real glass, cry me a river. And apparently Punk got I don't know if he got heated, pero nung bumalik si Perry sa backstage, nagkasalubong sila ni Punk, and there was some physicality involved. There was some pushing around, some shoving around, and apparently
one news told na binunggo siya ni Jack Perry si Punk, and another news said na it was Punk who did the first striking. So
yeah, so medyo like right now it's under investigation, so TK literally cannot comment on it whatsoever, and both guys have been suspended and will probably miss All Out. So we just had Dynamite, and as of right now wala silang match, both of them, they're not on the card. Additionally, Samoa Joe reportedly had to break up that scuffle, and may mga monitors daw na nahulog. So it was right there bago lumabas dun sa Gorillas, what they call it. So it was an intense, and that dominated the headlines.
Wait, sorry, what did you say? What did you say they called the thing? What did you say they called the thing?
Backstage na lang.
What did you say?
I said gorilla. It's
the
not
gorillas. You said the gorillas.
Alright, well, going back,
ladies and gentlemen, palakpakan natin si Wait. Palakpakan natin si Emile for holding down the first 10 or so minutes of the pod, of the live stream. That's the first. We never let anyone else do that. So he stepped up major and delivered well. We made the right choice in graduating Emile. So carry on. I was interrupting your thought.
No, I was gonna ask your thoughts about what happened with the Brawl Out 2 Brawl in London. So,
all right. So, funny enough, actually, it's pretty messy though. To be totally fair, CM was the one in the right here when it comes to the whole issue between him and Jungle. So, Jack wanted to do the real glass thing. CM didn't want to do that because it's dangerous, which is fair, which is something I would do as well. And then Jack took offense to it, and then it happened the way you said it happened. Tapos it's pretty bad. Okay na sana, and then he threw the punch. He threw the first punch, and by all standards, and I don't care if you're, going by the rules of the 80s or whatever, diba? Pero the moment you throw the first strike, the first swing, ikaw talaga yung talo, because you lost the game of regulating your emotions. You lost the game of keeping it cool and being the adult in the room, diba? I don't know if laking 80s, 90s ang talaga si CM Punk na he thinks he has to address everything with fists. So I'm not saying that it's wrong. I mean, I'm saying it's wrong, but I'm not saying it's hard to keep it together, I think I would have done the same, but I also know that the moment I start the fight is the moment I lose, and the moment I open myself up to a lawsuit or whatever, or to administrative sanction, which is what happened here. So yun, Ina's right. CM Punk needs to control his emotions. He needs to, if he wants to be an adult in the room, and he says he's working with children on the roster, he has to stop being a child himself. Because a child is the person who can't control their emotions. Diba? We look at children as being unable to control their emotions, being unable to regulate their emotions. Because they're kids. They're learning to be people. They're learning to be citizens of a society. And then you're fucking, what, almost 50 years old? 40 something? I don't know how old is CM anyway?
It's like 40.
Mid-40s.
Yeah, diba?
Mid-40s,
Umabot ka sa ganyang edad na you're still acting like a child. And then you have the gall to tell the whole world that you're working with children. Like, come on, man. Sayang lang kasi he could have been the adult. He could have been the big,
the matured one,
father figure that they needed in the room.
Yeah.
Like he said they needed. And then he failed that test. You know, he just failed that test. And if you're so miserable, rumors are saying that he told Tony Khan that he wanted to quit. If you're so miserable, then leave, man. You don't like the environment backstage, but you're also a big part of that environment backstage. So at this point, I hope that this is the straw that breaks CM Punk's back and finally gets him to leave. Because, you know, the whole thing with Collision, the whole for and against Punk, the division of the roster of the locker room, it's still a big part of that is still CM Punk. You know, he is the problem, whether he wants to admit it or not. Whether I'm sure he's aware of it, but you know, alam lang niya na may mas maraming supporters sa kanya backstage. But if he doesn't like it, then just go. You're causing the trouble here. You're causing your own problems. You're causing your own headaches here. So just go, man. No, you're not gonna miss AEW. It seems at this point, the experiment failed. It took It took 2 years. This month was the 2nd anniversary of Punk coming to AEW. It took 2 years for him to go from I love it here and you know this is the future to I hate this place. Diba? And if you don't like it, they don't like you either. You can go. You can take your talents wherever. If you want to go back to WWE, that's fine. There are bigger people that can keep you under control in WWE. And if you don't like that, you're going to leave anyway. So just take it. Just take your ball and go home, man. I don't want you here. There are a lot of Punk fans, but it's time to admit then that your hero is the problem. And syempre, another part of the problem as well is Tony Khan, but you can't make Tony Khan go anywhere. So if CM Punk doesn't want to go, if CM Punk doesn't want to be here, then just go, man. Just cut your losses, save yourself the stress, the high blood pressure, and go.
Yeah, definitely. And so Rain here has a point. No wrestler is bigger than the industry. Like no matter how much you draw, how popular you are not bigger than the industry itself. And reportedly, there were some news articles that came out that TK and Punk had also nagkasagutan din sila backstage. And yung mga sinabi doon ni Punk is he's tired of this place and he wants to quit. And since then, wala silang according to those reports, wala silang communication with Tony Khan. So that is still something that we, still dapat nating abangan because maybe we have seen the last of CM Punk in AEW. And it's weird kasi it was because of one Jack Perry. So na we all thought lahat ng tao before that incident, like people thought of Jack Perry as this sweet young man who parang humble siya na he's a son of a great actor and there were no controversies surrounding him, and then suddenly there was this event, and it's unfortunate that this has to happen and this has to dominate the headlines in the last 3 days instead of how great All In was. But that's the problem with CM Punk.
Yo, Jasper, what do you got to say?
Yeah, Jasper.
I think I've said a lot of things about CM Punk. I'm just gonna quote on a comment here from SF Wayne. Ano yun? Yung From Yana pala, CM Punk needs to control his emotions naman. Kasi end of the story is it's your responsibility on how you react towards things talaga.
Yeah, especially if you're trying to be the locker room.
Yeah, you get it, man.
Yeah.
You get it. You guys get it. Like, how can you guys get it and CM Punk can't, diba? One last thing about this, about the whole Punk thing. I hope that people who were for him, for working with him, I hope they realize that this was the risk that you took by enabling and supporting Punk to come back to AEW. Because he was already at a point where he didn't want to come back, diba? And then now, you guys gave him another shot, even though we all knew something like this was bound to happen again, diba? So, wala. Now you know. Like Ricky Starks, I hope that he was aware na the moment he started getting in a storyline with CM Punk, he knew that this could happen. And now look at him. Kawawa siya na he couldn't have anything. He couldn't have his blow-off match. He was supposed to get the blow-off match at All Out, diba?
Yes.
So yeah, fucking sad, man. We already said that he shouldn't have come back, and now he proves that he shouldn't have come back. And I hope that the fans, I hope the fans realize that this was bound to happen with their hero. You know, sayang lang. It's just a mess. All right, you got anything else to say, Emile, about Punk?
Yeah, because the thing is, in another week, he's gonna be in the headlines again. We're gonna repeat the same damn thing. So let's just move on.
Yeah. Sige. Yeah, Triple H was right all along. Right? We have a lot of stuff to predict. We have 2 fucking shows to predict. All Out 2023 and Payback 2023. Let's not waste any more time. Let's get to that. But before that, syempre, we gotta hear from our fellow podcasts on the Pod Network. Alright. Saying hey to on TikTok said Perry started it though Punk had no business reacting to that kid. Yeah, that's absolutely right. Jack did throw the first shot. You know, it was also pretty immature of him, syempre, pero he just kept it to words, you know. Makatanos says mga spoiled brat fan ng WWE. Well, there are a lot of spoiled brats on both sides of the fence. You know, all right, we're already talking about AEW, so let's not stray from that before we get to WWE. Let's predict All Out. Jasper, let's put it on. Yon. All Out is in Chicago, and then the Chicago hero is not on the show. Womp womp.
Deserve.
Well, are you going to be sad about that or what?
No, I'm not going to be sad about that.
All right, so this show was made over the past few weeks. It's mostly Collision, and then some of the matches on that were made for. Some of the matches on this card were made over the past few weeks, and some of them were kind of clear because these matches didn't have space on the All In card. So Julian says he doesn't care about the show. Yeah, I guess it is kind of sad. It is pretty bad because it was unfortunately a week after the biggest show, the biggest pay-per-view that AEW had. That is a very bad programming decision by Tony Khan. Legit amateur moves in. Please don't schedule a show like this. To all bookers who may be listening to this, do not do this. Don't make a whole WrestleMania-ass event and then have another pay-per-view event and expect people to care. Even though, yes, you did try to work some of it, it's just going to end up looking like a show that may sabit lang, habol lang siya, diba? So let's just try to get through this as fast as we can. So yeah, let's just see what we have here. First, Samoa Joe versus Shane Taylor for the ROH World TV Championship. Obviously, it's Samoa Joe wash. Some of these matches were made on Ring of Honor, and then unfortunately, not a lot of people watch Ring of Honor. As much as you want to, it's really tough.
Yeah, same thing here. A note here is the reason why we're having this match is because Shane Taylor won a eliminator tournament to get to this point, but we all know Joe's probably going to retain the title.
Yeah, I think this is gonna be a Joe win because I think
Joe should have won the Real World Championship at this point. They should have made the.
He needs the momentum.
Yeah, to losing to Punk. Yeah,
to losing to Punk. Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, and it's an ROH thing. They had Joe win, I mean, they should have had Joe wins Punk match for the Real World Championship, and then they did not. So that was a wasted opportunity. All right, next match on the card. It is Miro versus Hobbs, which was made actually during 0 Hour. So if you guys tuned in on YouTube for free, you saw them have a quick segment. It just involved a little physicality, but it was being built up on Collision. So this one we knew was coming. So this one is a little tough because both men are being rehabbed, and I want to see both men get the win, but I think obviously one has to lose, and Hobbs has to lose here because Miro is still the bigger star, all things considered.
Yeah, same thoughts here. Miro will win, pero this feud is gonna go beyond All Out.
Yeah, it is just a fresh feud, yeah.
Yeah, I agree with Emile here because I think they're just planting a really big seed right here, and I think this is gonna go for the benefit of the both of them, and then it's gonna be building them up equally or not as equal as basta the whoever wins gets the best outcome, and the loser doesn't really get the worst outcome but a good outcome rather.
They will both be elevated after this.
Yeah, that's the right one. Yeah.
Sana, diba? That's the hope.
Yes.
That's the
I
hope.
really hope for Miro,
right.
man.
So we're all rooting for Miro. Next, another match that was made on Collision. Chris Statlander versus Ruby Soho for the TBS Championship. This might be, well, no, it could be, but I know the next match will be the show stealer. But this is going to be a good women's match. It looks like the only women's match once again on a Tony Khan card, so it is what it is. But my money is on Chris Stat because her reign is still fresh, and Ruby is doing something else. I think Ruby will eventually go on to get in the middle of Tony and Soraya. So it's gonna be a good match, but Chris is gonna win this.
Same Statlander again. Kakapanalo lang yan ng TBS title, and Ruby is probably gonna feud with the rest of her Outcast teammates in the foreseeable future. So, but this will be a good match. This will be both women here are fantastic. So I'll go with the Stat for the win.
Yeah, I trust the both women in this match because I think both of them can deliver an excellent match, and I don't think Statlander is gonna lose this because I hope she doesn't get the treatment the same as Hikaru Shida got during All In. Like she literally just got the belt and then she lost again. Yun lang. Para to maintain if they did it to Jade Cargill, might as well do it to another. Like give it not like how do I say this? Like don't play hot
potato.
Hot potato
in hot
the belt
potato,
kasi it's parang it doesn't build enough credibility to the belt, so it's just like making the list longer but not the reign longer. Yun lang.
To be fair, I think what they were doing here is they're making the TBS Championship the workhorse title for the women. So I think safe yan for now. Jay Miller says on TikTok, is it just me or does All Out seem like a weak card? Well, yeah, that's what happens when you blow all your load on All In because it is the bigger show, the biggest show. So it is what it is, and pretty sad. The fact that Tony Khan didn't think it through. So that's his problem too. It's a Tony Khan problem. It's between him and God and his locker room. Right, next match on the card is Jon Moxley versus Orange Cassidy for the International Championship. So a lot of story being told here. All of this was built up over the past few months, and then syempre, with All In and the Stadium Stampede match. Is Mox going to be the one to dethrone Orange Cassidy? I think so, yeah. It's about time na rin. They've been playing up the story in the Orange Cassidy has been getting weaker, and then he did the thing. His hand has been getting weaker. Then he did the thing with the glass and the Superman punch, and then now he's like more vulnerable than ever, most vulnerable. And then I think I know that this has been a legendary Orange Cassidy run, but at this point, how do you not give the championship to Jon Moxley? As well, also, CM Punk just got suspended again. So are we going to have Jon Moxley really lose again? Remember the last time that happened?
Yeah, definitely. And I think for people to get the context of this match, they need to watch the main event of Dynamite today. It was an excellent match between Orange Cassidy and Penta El Cero Miedo, where Orange Cassidy barely beat Pentagon. And I think ito na yung point na OC will finally lose because he can't win by barely he can't barely win anymore against someone who's a caliber of John Moxley. So Moxley winning will give this title more legitimacy, I think. Kasi no offense to OC, but Moxley is he's much more of a draw, he's much more of a main event player.
Wow.
And pero like
Hot take.
they will feud they will feud afterwards.
Okay.
Hindi naman to yung one match lang tapos na. This feud is gonna go beyond, and by the end of this, OC is gonna look also like a big star. This is his first main event feud, really.
Yeah, I think this is gonna steal the show. Sorry, Jasper, what you got?
I want to say Orange Cassidy, but yeah, I do agree with he's been carrying this belt for a while now. I think it's time for him to rest, and it's been showing that it's getting to him na, diba? Kasi he barely won the match against is it Penta? Sorry,
yes,
against Penta, and then he threw all he had in reserve. He threw all he had in and I think he gave all he could at this moment, and that is a good landmark that he's set in this belt's history. And I think Moxley's gonna elevate him more by making the match more prestigious, yung match nila sa All Out and the belt itself. Yeah.
Honestly, this should main event All Out. Like I was thinking about this earlier.
Yeah,
Out of all the matches in the card, this has the bigger gravitas. So if it was up to me, this would main event.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's not up to us.
Yeah.
Right. Next match, we have Eddie Kingston and Katsuyori Shibata versus BCC, the Blackpool Combat Club, Claudio and Wheeler Yuta. So this is going to be another banger. Anything involving Kingston and Shibata and the other guys, Claudio and Yuta. Really great stuff. I hope this gets a lot of time. I hope it does because there are so many matches again on this card, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Jesus fuck. But who do I have this one? I think it has to be Eddie and Shibata. Although I also wouldn't be I wouldn't be opposed to a Claudio and Yuta win. So basically saying anyone can win here. But I think since Shibata naman, siya naman nanalo.
I think we're heading towards a singles match between Eddie and Claudio. And it's gonna come probably sooner rather than later. And I think for Eddie to be motivated more to beat Claudio, I think BCC has to win this to progress that story.
He already has motivation to beat Claudio because he lost the first match, the ROH Championship match that they did a few months back. So that is the major motivation. So, well, now that you put it that way, if there is a rematch on the horizon, Claudio and Yuta do have to win so that you push the story and then get to the climax of Eddie winning the Ring of Honor Championship, hopefully.
Yeah.
Because he is the guy who got therapy or whatever. All right, Jasper, what do you got?
Jasper.
I'm gonna side with as much as I wanna side with the BCC guys because they've been taking a little bit of else, pero I'm going with Eddie and Shibata here because man, it's Shibata and Eddie. How could you not let them win?
Yeah, it's kind of true as well.
Yeah, I agree. But we'll see. No, I'm fine with either team winning. This is gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
Yeah, I'm fine with either then. Yeah.
Next match on the card, Luchasaurus with Christian Cage versus Darby Allin for the TNT Championship. So specifically Luchasaurus versus Darby and not Christian versus Darby. So interesting thing. I think the Christian act, the father thing, has really picked up steam. I did not expect it to do so, but they booked it in a way that it's now become one of the more interesting memes in the wrestling fandom, in the AEW fandom. So I don't want this to end yet. I think the end game for Christian's TNT Championship run, or Luchasaurus' TNT Championship run, is that he and Luchasaurus get into it. Kasi syempre, Christian Cage is, trying to make it look like he was the champ. He is the champion, diba? So inangkin na yung championship. So I don't think Darby needs a TNT Championship either, diba? So there are a lot of other things he can do, and he can move on from this. He's already been the TNT Championship, the TNT champion a long time ago, and I don't think we need to go back to that time now. So I'm gonna say that Luchasaurus retains here.
Same thing, Luchasaurus retains kasi just for kasi what if something happens next month and a certain Adam Copeland goes to AEW. So may program na agad doon with Christian and Luchasaurus for TNT title. So I would like them to retain the title. So I'd go with saka Darby's one of those wrestlers na he's already established na no matter how much how many times he lose, he's still gonna be over. He is a main event credible star now. So okay lang yan. So I'll go with Luchasaurus and Christian.
Yeah. All right. So we're all in agreement that we're warming up the championship for Adam Copeland, or whatever he's going to be called. Speaking of Adam Cole, we have Adam Cole and MJF.
Yeah. I must side with
versus
Luchasaurus here.
TVA for the ROH World Tag Team Championships. That's because go Emile, go.
So the context of this is on Dynamite earlier, they announced a tag team battle royal that will happen on Rampage. So they already taped it, and that's gonna be the number one contender. So if you don't want to be spoiled, please skip 30 seconds. So the winner of this battle royal is the Dark Order duo of.
Wait, yun na yung ano mo? Yun na yung warning mo? Skip 30 seconds and then what? You just went right into it.
I don't know how to do it. That's the first time I ever do it.
Wala man lang foreplay. Okay, no. You didn't hear that. Nobody heard that. Heard that. So,
okay.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Claymore, go.
All right. So the winners of that tag team battle royal that was taped earlier for Rampage is the Dark Order duo of Alex Reynolds and John Silver. So my predictions with this match, napaka-obvious naman. The champs will retain.
Is it though? I mean,
Why?
There's still time to turn heel. I mean, it's been a week. They got a new thing. I know Adam Cole or anyone didn't turn right now, but it's still possible, right? So the Dark Order push is nice, but I think there's a chance that they could win it. So even though I said that I liked Adam Cole and MJF sticking together, and that Tony Khan got them to stick together, I think there's a bigger chance. There's more than zero chance, diba, of them winning. So it's possible, and I am gonna make that pick. Wala lang, para ano. It's the ROH World Tag Team Championship. It's still the ROH Tag Team Championship. So Albert makes a good point here. The Kingdom can interfere here, diba? So who knows? I think it's not a bad night for the Dark Order to win and be the new ROH Tag Team Champions. That's my pick.
Jasper, your pick. Yes.
Yeah. My pick. Firstly, I just want to say it's nice to see that the Dark Order is getting the spotlight once again, or at least that I know of, and the outcome of this match, I think, MJF and Adam Cole are gonna remain. Dahil, I think this is addition to how sentimental the whole quote unquote relationship they have with each other, and parang it adds more fire to the
Right.
feel whenever
Right, before we move on
when the
to the
time is
next
right
match,
and
say
and
hey
it's
to
gonna
everyone who's
explode
watching on
with the heel
TikTok.
turn.
Marami na pala.
So
This
I'm
is
gonna side
more
with, as much as I
than
want to
we've
side
ever
with
gotten on any
the
live
Dark Order,
stream,
and it's
whether it's
nice that
on
they're back
Kumu
again.
or
But
on
this is
Facebook or
this is gonna
YouTube.
be a
Say
MJF,
hello, guys.
MJF
I
and
know
Adam
we're not
Cole.
always speaking English here, but we try and we hope that you like the wrestling talk. Right, next match on the card, it's Bullet Club Gold versus the FTR and the Young Bucks. FTR and the Young Bucks. So they have joined forces, and it's a 4-on-4 match. And this has been building up for a little bit. Medyo nagana siya on Collision that it happened now. And I don't know. Obviously, the FTR and Young Bucks feud is not over yet, but I also am kind of over it. Like the match FTR had with Bullet Club Gold, which is Jay and Juice. I felt like that was a lot better than what we got from FTR versus Young Bucks nung All In. So I don't want to see this feud continue, specifically FTR and Young Bucks, but it's not. I don't know. I don't know where this is going. So I'm just gonna say that obviously FTR and Young Bucks are gonna win because they're the baby faces and everybody loves them. But it wouldn't kill me either to have Bullet Club Gold win. Because now I finally care about them, and now I see their value. To quote Jeff Winger. So what do you guys think?
I won't mind if the Bullet Club Gold win this match because they have so much momentum now. People actually care about the Bullet Club Gold, so why not give them a win? Saka their opponents, FTR and Young Bucks, they're feuding, so they're bound to lose here, and they're gonna turn on each other again. They're gonna have another match down the line. So give them a win here. Give the Bang Bang Gang here a much deserved W.
Yeah,
Jasper.
I'm gonna side with Bullet Club Gold, and you guys know how I feel about Juice Robinson.
Yes.
How do you feel about Juice Robinson?
He loves
How do you feel about? Yeah. You love that shit, right? Right. That's right.
Yeah, I mean, and jokes
Right.
aside, it's nice that they're getting the momentum they deserve and they need, and maybe this is the big break for them and to establish that they're force to be reckoned with, because Juice Robinson ain't here to fuck around and find out.
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna side with Bullet Club Gold.
Right. All right, next up, the last match, we don't know if it's the main event. So, presumptive main event, I guess? I don't know. Nobody knows until Monday. But it is Kenny Omega versus Konosuke Takeshita. So, it is the continuation of the story. It's now the culmination, I guess, of this long feud. And I'm a Takeshita guy. I love that guy. And I think this was the big moment that they were building up to, although it kind of wasn't all clear how they were going to get there. So, my pick is Takeshita's going to win because this was his destiny, if you will. Diba? This is why they hired him full time to AEW and why they gave him Don Callis. Diba? So why else are you going to have him go through all of that and then still not have him win the big match? What do you guys think?
Same. I was thinking about this earlier, and both guys have cases to win. With Kenny, he has to win so that Don Callis can get his comeuppance because he was the one who started this feud. He was the one who turned on Kenny. So Kenny has to win to get one over Don. But at the same time, Takeshita, he's the young star that they're building, and a way to establish him as a full-on main eventer is by defeating one of the best wrestlers in the world, which is Kenny Omega. So I'll go with Takeshita on this one. I feel they're gonna put him over, and he's gonna be established now as a main eventer in AEW. So I'll go with Konosuke Takeshita.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Takeshita as well. If Stan was here, I'm gonna let him play the soundboard of "I have to finish the story," and this is Takeshita's story, and this would be a new chapter for a better story and a better good career.
The thing with Takeshita though, I don't see him as a main event. I don't see him as a main event heel, because as a babyface, he's so good as a babyface. I am not seeing his heel run clicking yet, and the only reason why it's clicking is because he's associated with Don Callis. But he's so much better as a babyface. So I don't know how are they gonna they're gonna deal with that.
Yeah, I agree. I've always wanted to see him as a face. Okay, I wanted Ibushi to come in as a heel, but I think he'll make it work. I think just a little more time with Don Callis, just some more shows with him speaking for him. I think just a few more vicious exhibitions of his power, of his strength, of his striking, and I think we'll get there. And I think this is a step that he needs to take. Diba? So yun yan. All right, so those are our picks for All Out. We'll see if we're gonna do a viewing party for that. No promises here. So medyo mahirap. But it is what it is, And we'll be here to talk about it next week, even though you might not watch it. I understand if you don't watch it because it's another AEW show. That's 2 shows, 2 pay-per-views in the span of 2 weeks. But it's really tough on the brain, right? So we still have Payback predictions to make. Buti na lang that's a mercifully shorter show, a shorter card. But before we get to that, let's have one more message from our fellow podcasts on the Pod Network, rather. All right. We have one more show to predict. It is Payback from WWE. Again, reminding you all, if you are in Manila on Sunday morning, September 3, we have a viewing party, a small viewing party at Hobby Stadium in New Manila, Quezon City. Just go there, show up. Tickets are available at the door. It's only 200 pesos, no free drink. But please, let's support our friends at Hobby Stadium by buying their food and drink. It's really, really good, guys. It's good. It's great for breakfast. So let's all have fun. And who knows? You might make a new friend. Might make, some brothers in the wrestling business.
Yes.
Julian says it has a Raw exclusive PLE feel to it, which is actually true. Nagkataon na the stories that Triple H had to put aside for Payback were all from, or mostly from Raw. So at this point, because Triple H is doing a lot of editing when it comes to the PLE cards, why not just bring back the brand exclusive shows, diba? Why not just have Payback be a Raw PLE, and then the next show, I think is what was the next show after this? Whatever
Extreme
it
Rules.
is a SmackDown. Extreme Rules, be SmackDown, whatever. Do that. I think nobody minds now that there are no SmackDown matches on this particular card. So I don't mind it going back to that format. Anyway, let's begin with Payback. First off, we have the Tag Team Championship match. Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn versus Damian Priest and Finn Balor. The 2 Judgment Day boys have to play nice because they've been at each other's throats for the past few weeks since SummerSlam. And the question here is, 1, is it time for a new Tag Team Champion? Or 2, is it time for one of the Judgment Day, either Damian Priest or Finn Balor, to leave the group? So what do you guys think? I think, you guys go first.
All right, so this one is quite tricky because
who is going to win first? Who's going to win?
The champs retain. Kasi here's the thing: the Judgment Day, they've been teasing this breakup for such a long time now. They've been teasing this since July, so it's been 2 months now. Something has to go down. Hindi nila kailangan tong pahabain for the sake of having a long-term story. But I think this is the time now to pull the trigger. Are they gonna break up? Are they gonna let JD join the Judgment Day? Or are they gonna kick someone out? So something has to happen now, or maybe on the Raw after Payback. Something has to go down now with what will happen talaga with the Judgment Day.
Yeah, I do agree kasi this is eto na eh, like they've been building, yeah, like as Emil said, this was building up since July pa. Oh. Yun nga. I think Sami Zayn and KO are gonna win this kasi it adds more fire to the currently burning feud growing feud between Finn Balor and Damien Priest. But it's kind of sad kasi as a Finn, as part of the Balor Club, he hasn't been winning. Kaya I don't know. As much as I want to say this Judgment Day would win, this is gonna be a KO and Sami Zayn win.
Yeah, I agree. I think KO and Sami Zayn are. I think Sami and KO are going to win the are going to retain the championships, and I don't know if that means the judge or someone from Judgment Day is leaving here, but I think then their story is the one that has to move, not KO and Sami. So yun lang. All right, next match on the card is LA Knight versus The Miz. Which is, I think, the only involvement of SmackDown on this card. So,
Yeah.
okay, it's easy to say that LA Knight is going to win, but at this point, is it a lock that LA Knight is going to win? What do you guys think?
Ooh, dude. The last Monday, I just want to say, that promo that Miz did, imitating, he did an impersonation of LA Knight, and he really nailed that impersonation. And pero may may point yung paggaya kay LA Knight eh. Like he is basically saying anyone with a catchphrase can, or anyone with a catchphrase can be over. Like, he's not special, ganon. Ganyan yung pinupunto ni Miz doon eh. And that was a really great promo. And these two, I'm actually undecided with these two. Who is gonna take a win? Pero I think this feud will go beyond Payback. Like, this is again the first major feud that LA Knight have. So this has to go beyond Payback. This has to go beyond a single pay-per-view or PLE. So I'll go with The Miz, pero it's a dirty win by The Miz.
Okay, Jasper.
I think this is gonna be the safest pick is LA Knight kasi I'm gonna eto lang just a small context from the past events from wrestling kasi I think this gonna be LA Knight's win because he has the blessing or like the last match of Bray Wyatt rin, diba, sa kanya, and then he put over the lesson that he learned from Bray Wyatt, yun nga the one that he said it's run. So he has a lot of things to carry out from his feud with Bray and the blessings that he have and the blessings that he had from him to succeed. He has to succeed on this one. Pero I do think that this isn't the last match that they have kasi sayang naman if they're gonna end it on Payback kasi you see this two, they've been feuding not even physically but in words pa lang, and what more they can do in few months time rin, diba? I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, I gets good sinabi. I agree that it has to hinge on whether or not this is going to be the last match. If this is going to be a one-off match between him and LA. So given that, then I do think LA Knight is losing here. I do enjoy I really enjoyed the Miz promo from last Monday. It kind of sums up my feelings on LA Knight, even though Miz is guilty of the same stuff. That's why that shit is the same reason why people love Miz, or why Miz fans love Miz. So, to me, Miz nailed why LA Knight was popular, and it's because fans are easy to lead, diba? Fans are easy to captivate with you have someone who has a nice voice, a nice deep booming voice, then you give them really easy catchphrases. Like Daniel Bryan was also guilty of the easy catchphrase, diba? Stone Cold was a victim of the easy catchphrase. So, may point nga yung sinabi ni Miz, and that's really good. That's really great stuff, great material from him. And I hope that LA could fire back with something that is equally as deep equally as insightful about his career. So let's hope that happens. And I think because this isn't a one-off match, or this hopefully isn't a one-off match, they're gonna have enough time to come up with something to fire back with, diba? So yeah, let's call it Miz is gonna win this match between him and LA Knight. Next, we have Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Rodriguez for the Women's World Championship. I got Mommy here in the bag. So she is a safe bet. I don't think they're going to take that away from her anytime soon.
Okay, for me, yeah, to play into the dysfunction that is happening to the Judgment Day, Rhea said on nung Raw na she has been distracted of what's been happening between Damian and Finn. So what if that is the reason why she's gonna be distracted heading into the match and Raquel gets one on her? What if? So that yun na naman naisip ko. Pero like the popular pick is of course Rhea retaining. Pero to really play on that dysfunction, to really play on that breakup that the Judgment Day, the story that they've been having, why not have? Kasi Raquel is like the only legit contender talaga in the last few months kay Rhea. So why not play into that and have Raquel win over Rhea here? I know it's just Payback is not that big a pay-per-view for a title changing moment, pero you know, why not give Raquel here a run? So I'll go with her.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, I was gonna go out like again. Emile already said what I was supposed to say because I saw this more as something that could be related to the Judgment Day breakup story, as you know, sina JD, probably JD would interrupt the match and it would backfire, and then Raquel would take the W here, and then you know, Finn's gonna probably defend JD, and the rest is gonna be history, you know. Pero yeah, I'm gonna side with Raquel here.
All right.
Wow. People are going against Mommy. Interesting. I don't think it's time yet. I really don't think it's time yet.
Yeah,
right, next up, we have a United States Championship match. It was built recently. Rey Mysterio versus Austin Theory, the rematch. So we do have one SmackDown match in here. And at this point, is anyone really expecting Theory to come back and get his championship back? Does this make him any more interesting? Is there a chance that he gets the championship back?
No,
what do you guys think?
I don't think so. No. Like, we don't want another Theory title run so soon after his last one, which was really long. That was a really long reign. So, unless Santos Escobar come in and turn heel, I don't see Rey losing this match whatsoever.
Again, naunahan mo na naman ako.
Yeah,
Pero
Jasper.
yes, I was hoping, I'm hoping kasi diba they were building this this dispute between Santos and Rey kasi diba during the Grayson Waller effect segment, they were telling that Rey Mysterio stole Santos's spotlight, and it's kind of true kasi diba Santos was supposed to go through pero Rey Mysterio won. Yeah, I'm gonna side with Rey here, pero if there's gonna be an interruption or a betrayal, this is gonna be another A-Town down reign. Jesus. Pero he really needs the repackaging. Kasi admittedly I'm a fan of this dude kasi dude is underrated, pero he was just booked really badly.
Yeah, and I think
refresher.
I think Triple H kind of gave up on him in a way. So that's pretty sad. But
yeah, because
I do agree. Yeah, there you go.
He was supposed to be that young, brash, yung talker, but they already have, parang pinalitan na siya ni Grayson Waller as that guy.
Diba compare siya as Grayson Waller? Like,
exactly, yeah.
This is what Austin Theory should have been, which is so unfair.
Yeah, that's kind of sad to Austin. It's kind of unfair as well to Austin Theory.
Yeah, I'm an Austin Theory fan. He doesn't deserve that shit. But at the same time, because he isn't really doing anything to help him here. So I do think that the end game here is Rey versus Santos. And it's time then for Santos to turn heel because the whole LWO thing was really abrupt just for the feud with Judgment Day. Diba? So I think it's time that I think it's kind of jumped the shark. All right, next we have Trish Stratus versus Becky Lynch in a steel cage. Okay, obviously, this is the end of the current Trish run. It was supposed to end at SummerSlam, but they didn't have space on SummerSlam, as we said before. People have to edit, and now I think nobody else is going to argue that Becky is finally going to get her win that she's been chasing for fucking 4 months, I think. So what do you guys think?
Yeah, same thing here. Like the purpose naman of this feud is Trish putting over Becky. So Becky's gonna win, and Trish is gonna go back to to her usual life, and yung pabalik-balik na lang siya once in a while. So it was a great run, though. It was a great few months run for Trish Stratus. Like she really proved.
Yeah, it was really good. Yeah,
she never lost it. She still has it.
Well, she did kind of retire young. Yeah. Sorry,
yeah.
Jasper, go ahead.
I was gonna say my prediction too is my only worry about this is if Trish Stratus lose, what happens to Zoe Stark? Yeah. Because I don't really see where she would be going after this feud.
We'll see.
Yeah,
I think she has kind of outgrown na rin yung protege gimmick. Yeah. So I think once Trish loses, Zoe has proven herself that with the multiple matches versus Becky, she's been so good at all of those. So I think she doesn't need to fly any further under Trish's wing. So yun lang. Right. Finally, the main event of the show. We're finally here at this point, and we have Shinsuke Nakamura versus Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship. Okay, is there a chance for Nakamura to win this championship from Seth? I know it's time for Seth to drop the championship. Parang nung we were ready to see him lose it nung SummerSlam pa lang, diba? But could this be it? What do you guys think?
I would be completely disappointed if Seth retains. Kasi they've been you look at how they presented Shinsuke Nakamura since the heel turn.
Dude, it's so different.
So how can you expect the guy that they've been pushing, the guy they've been presenting a new Shinsuke Nakamura and have him lose his first title match? Like have him win, and then they can go back and forth with the feud in the next few months or so. Pero please give Shinsuke Nakamura a win here. Like wala namang mawawala kay Seth Rollins if he loses this one, honestly. Like, Shinsuke would have more to lose if he managed to lose this one. So, masasayang lang yung new package niya. Masayang yung new packaging with his new heel run. Now, I'm really loving all these vignettes that I'm seeing, all his mannerisms, his actions. It's a completely whole new Shinsuke Nakamura. So, give him the win.
This reminds me of the time where he won the Royal Rumble and he faced against AJ Styles. He had that big momentum going through WrestleMania, and when he lost that, he turned heel and he never got that momentum back. Yeah. And now we're getting the same build up, and I really hope this is it. Like, it's a long time coming for Shinsuke. This is gonna be it. I freaking hope so. If it's not, this is gonna remind me of my reaction on watching Finn Balor lose again. Jesus Christ. Can't believe my boys are losing.
I got it. This is Jasper. Alright, so I want to ask you guys, do you think the introduction of the back injury that apparently Seth has been dealing with for years now is parang a way to condition people to, okay, if Seth loses, it's really because he's been injured and not because he's like the weaker, not as good a wrestler as Shinsuke Nakamura. So
absolutely.
Do you agree that this was what they did here?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Jasper.
I would say this is showing. This is a showcase of Shinsuke's knowledge towards towards strong style and analyzing how he should quote unquote beat his opponents to limb by limb. Kasi none of us really know about his back injury until now.
No. For us fans, was it a setup? Was it a setup for for an eventual Seth loss.
I think so. Kasi they wouldn't bring that up if for no reason.
Yeah, di ba? Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of agree with also Jasper. Why bring it up if Seth is gonna win anyway?
Right. Super Seth. All right, so yeah, I agree with that. I hope that happens, but I don't know how much Triple H is willing to go. Even though I know na bata ni Triple H si Nakamura. He did bring him in all those years ago. All right. That's it finally for the two shows, the two pay-per-views, the two big events that we have this weekend. We finally got to this point, guys. All right. It's time for our plugs. Jasper, Emile, what do you guys got? You guys have anything to plug here?
I want to invite everyone to follow the company, the Pod Network Entertainment, in Facebook and in socials. We're currently growing our company here, so it would really be appreciated to join the support and the family. Because we're producing a lot of podcasts for the idea of entertainment and expanding the idea of podcast in the Philippines. Yun lang naman.
Ako naman, just like to invite again all of our listeners, all those who are watching to join us sa watch party, sa viewing party on this Sunday 7 a.m. That's yung time na mag-open yung Hobby Stadium. Yeah, so it's 7 or 7:30. What time is it, bro?
7. 7. Doors
7.
open.
So yun.
Doors open.
Open at 7. Yes. So 200 pesos at the gate. So yun. So also support yung Hobby Stadium by ordering foods and drinks. Sobrang sulit. Sobrang sulit yun. So see you on Sunday morning.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Emile, for plugging the viewing party. Again, for me, I have Unmasked, the Chronicles of Roman and Sandata, the other podcast that I have, which just talks about my career in pro wrestling and, up to hopefully this point. We're recording new episodes tomorrow, which will drop next week. So if you aren't up to speed on my podcast, it's a great time to start listening. I hope that I've heard good things about it, so I hope that you guys enjoy it as well. Just go to Spotify or Apple Podcasts and search Unmasked, the podcast, the Chronicles of Romaran and Sandata. Also follow us on TikTok at Wrestling2XPod for content. Thank you, Mon, for big upping my podcast. Thank you. I'll be taking your questions on the final episode of the season, which will drop 2 weeks from now, but we'll record it tomorrow. So please go to my Instagram at shang.daddy and then click the stories to find out how you can ask a question. So if there's anything that you've been wondering about me or my career or, anything you wanted to ask me, just please drop a question. We'll be answering them. We're hoping to fill an hour with them. And Julian says it's highly recommended for the tea. There is a lot more tea to spill, and I don't know how much of it I can spill, but there is tea to spill. Thank you guys who have tuned into that show as well, and to this show as well, for all your support. And thanks as well to our good boys and girls, Jasper included, of the Pod Network. They make it happen, they make us sound good, and they deliver you the content, the wrestling content that you guys really, really love. Right, that brings us finally to the end of this live stream. No audio only for this week. It's been a busy week, and we haven't all gotten to catch up with the wrestling, myself specifically. So next week na tayo magtuos-tuos. God, thank you, man. Thank you so much. All right, so on behalf of my fellow podcasts, Emile here, you can follow him at EML_Meister, Chino at Chino Supersized, Rowan at Monday Night Rowan, that's NITE, and Stan, who is still working the FIBA World Cup at _Stan C. Check out his Instagram for behind the scenes and highlight reels of his work. I am Ro at Roiswar and at Shang.Daddy on Instagram and Threads and on TikTok as well. Follow the podcast at Wrestling2XPod on Instagram, on Twitter, and I'm not gonna say X, on Instagram at Wrestling Podcast on Instagram. Sorry. On Twitter and TikTok. Sorry, I'm getting messed up.
There you go.
Magaling ako sa sakit. And the Wrestling Podcast on Facebook. Follow us there. Keep the conversations going. If you want to talk to us about wrestling some more, that's where you could find all of us. Right? All right, and see you again next week here on the same live stream channel, whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube or TikTok. We're always here to give you the wrestling talk that you need and to process your wrestling feels. So until then, please stay safe, stay dry, be good, stay warm, and don't be a dick, right? Wrestling Podcast. And yes, love each other, hug your babies, your family, your loved ones. Tell them you love them before it's too late, all right? Wrestling Podcast. Peace.
The opinions of podcast creators, hosts, and guests are not necessarily reflective of the official stance of the Pod Network Entertainment, its hosts, or other network programs. The content created by the people behind the podcast is personal and not meant to harm any